In Coach Bruce Pearl's first season, he helped return excitement and winning to Tennessee basketball. An SEC Eastern Division championship and a number 2 seed in the NCAA Tournament had given Vol fans a taste of championship basketball and left them thirsting for more as year 2 approached. The passion was back. Numbers for season tickets jumped. Expectations were high for the 2006-2007 Tennessee basketball squad. With the success experienced in year 1, the team knew the bar was going to be raised for year 2.
Get open, Jordan! Ball screen! Here he is! Booyah!
Coach Pearl had built his coaching resume on getting his teams to play up to and beyond expectations. His coaching style demands hard work, dedication, and grit from his players. The challenge in front of this Tennessee team, keeping the momentum from the previous season and taking that next step toward being an SEC and national power season after season.
Juwan Smith racing the other way, goes in, puts it up, good, and he's fouled. Here's Bradshaw out front, drives in the lane against Noah, spins, fakes, goes up and under, shot good by Bradshaw.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, here comes the big orange.
In its glory days, Stokely Athletic Center was one of the most difficult venues in the nation for an opposing team. Sellout crowds that were loud and in tune with the action on the court made opposing teams dread the thought of having to come play the Volunteers in Stokely. The intense atmosphere gave Tennessee a clear and unmistakable home court advantage. Those intense Stokely Center emotions, seemingly lost forever, have been resurrected in Thompson Bowling Arena over the past 2 seasons. Sellout crowds jammed the building last year to watch Tennessee beat some of the best teams in college basketball. The Volunteers went undefeated at home, playing the nation's toughest schedule. Thompson Bowling Arena had developed its own mystique. That Tennessee home court advantage, so much associated with Stokely Athletic Center, had now made the transition in full to Thompson Bowling Arena. Coach, we're in Stokely Athletic Center. This is where Ernie and Bernie played. Coach Mears helped really get Tennessee basketball on the map. You spent a lot of time in this place, too, because practices for the season and everything. So talk about the memories and how important this building is to Tennessee basketball.
Oh, I know. It's like grand old barn, you know, and I just look at those wooden seats and picture, you know, some of our fans and donors and friends when they were kids. And they remembered coming into this building, and they grew up with Tennessee basketball. And I think that's one of the reasons why they've enjoyed these last couple of years, because they remembered as a young person, and they remembered doing it with their dads and being in this place.
Tennessee has beaten Kentucky. Final score, Tennessee 103, Kentucky 98.
And then to bring their kids back now to Tennessee basketball at Thompson Bowling Arena, where we've got it going a little bit now, it means it's got some special significance.
Coach, this season was a challenge. You had 4 freshmen. You lost a great point guard. You lost your center right before the start of the year. Talk about your thoughts going into the season, knowing that everybody expected you to improve on a number 2 seed in the NCAA tournament.
Well, I couldn't worry about what everybody else expected. I worry about what I expect. And I was concerned, we just got to keep it going. We had such a good start in our first year. And I knew I was going to have 2 first seasons. I said it from Jump Street. This team I inherited, that's going to be my first season. The second season, we're going to lose so many guys, and they're going to have so many young people playing. It's going to be just like another first season. I was concerned. I didn't know how many we could get and whether or not we could keep it going because of all those losses. But quickly I found out that this was a team that had some grit, it had some leadership, it had some character, and the freshmen were as good or better than advertised.
You had said from the start that your system relies on seniors and the upperclassmen to teach it, move it along. How important was Dane Bradshaw on this year's team?
Well, Dane was very important, as were Jordan and Juwan and Chris, those 3 juniors. Ryan as a sophomore. They had a jump start. They had an advantage. But at least they were able to show the new players, this is how we train, this is how we go to class, this is how we take care of our business, and this is where we set the bar. And I think they got some confidence well before practice started that they thought that maybe this team had enough pieces to be successful.
You jump into the NIT, you get a couple of home games, and you go to Nashville, and you get away, you get to Nashville, you get to play on the road a little bit. How are those two games in Nashville important?
It was a great way to start, and we knew there was a terrific prize, the opportunity to take our team to New York City, one of the birthplaces of basketball.
Over Thanksgiving, it was a tremendous trip for your team, but you ran into two good basketball teams up there, Butler and North Carolina. Lost both of those games, but I think your team learned a lot in New York City.
I knew how good Butler was. Nobody had to tell me. I competed against them in the Horizon League for years. And to start the game, we played them as well as they had been played. They had already come off beating Indiana and Notre Dame to get to Madison Square Garden. But Butler also knew how to cover us, and they did a wonderful job in the second half. And then North Carolina. Bob, not one half of basketball since I've been the coach of Tennessee were we ever so dominated. And here's the scary thing. We weren't playing bad, and we were down 20 at half. This basketball team came together at halftime in that locker room, and there wasn't a single coach within sight. Those guys recognized what was going on out there and the fact that they were getting run out and they were getting embarrassed. And they decided then it was not about me, it was about us. And we decided to become a lot less selfish. Let's not worry about our individual role, because don't forget, this was a team that had veterans and freshmen, and everybody's trying to carve their niche early in the season. That's what takes place. At halftime, it wasn't about my niche. It was about Tennessee's niche.
Jordan Howell, after that trip to New York, gets inserted into the starting lineup. Jordan seemed to calm everybody down, get you into an offense, run your offense, and bring confidence to this basketball team at a very critical time.
It was a very critical time, and I don't know that I expected Jordan to be able to do it as well as he did. But he jumped on the opportunity to be the starting point guard, and he took advantage of those minutes, and he was aggressive.
Jordan Howell getting the starting nod for his ball handling and his defense and his ability to get the ball to that man, Chris Lofton.
That's Tennessee basketball.
Howell with a straight-on look, and he drills it. Jordan Howell.
He advanced past the ball down the floor better than Ramar or Marcus were able to do, and he picked up the tempo of our team, offensively and defensively. Now, to Ramar Smith's credit, he watched, he listened, he learned. He wasn't threatened, and he accepted the demotion to come off the bench. He wound up playing better and better.
And that's a compliment to Ramar, because he understood what he needed to do to get better, and he did that by watching Jordan.
Ramar Smith's got my back. Ramar Smith understands what my job is, and he enables me to do my job. Now, I know there are times when he'd like to knock my head off, as would most of those players, understand? But you could not say anything negative about me in front of Ramar. Even when we were going through this time where he was, being, somewhat demoted. I said, Ramar, let me do my job. And you go out there and do your job. You can play better than this. You need to tighten up your handle. You need to make plays defensively. You're a better shooter than you're shown. You need to be more productive and do that coming off the bench. And he bought in.
A couple of signature wins. Oklahoma State, I guess, was the first one. In Nashville, again, you're at the Gaylord Entertainment Center, and Dane Bradshaw comes up with one of the biggest plays of the year, a play that really ignited the team.
No doubt. ESPN is in the house. Oklahoma State comes in undefeated and playing as well as anybody in the country. And we're a team that's still trying to find its identity, We played well. We played hard. We executed a game plan. And Chris Lofton was spectacular. He was the best player on the floor. And that's sort of what started to happen. All things were being equal. All things were being equal. The only difference, we had 5. We had Lofton. And he was able to separate himself so often. Why is it that at the end, when a play needs to be made, it's a guy that can't even raise his arms up over his shoulder to raise his right arm up and tip a ball in? He's got no business being anywhere in that position. But just like he beat Florida with defensive plays and baskets, he goes ahead and he beats Oklahoma State. It got us going.
Have you ever seen a player that just refused to accept pain, refused to accept any kind of adversity or any excuses? He just goes and plays and does his job like Brad.
I don't know that I would say that Dane would probably, I don't know that I've ever had a player that has done that. He plays his junior year without a ligament in his right wrist. I mean, the ligament is detached. It's not there. and yet he decides, I'm not going to stop playing. This is a special season, and we'll just put the ligament back on when the season's over. And I think he treated his tendonitis in his shoulders just the same way.
Oklahoma State was a big win. Then Texas, Memphis come to town. 2 big-name programs, 2 big wins for your basketball team.
I'll tell you what, here's what happens. We're now going to start going up against some folks that these freshmen played against in high school in an AAU ball. We had the opportunity against North Carolina, and we weren't up to that level. We could not match what North Carolina's freshmen were able to bring. It bothered my young guys a lot. And so they looked at the next opportunity as being that Texas game, with that heralded freshman class, including the College Player of the Year, Kevin Durant, a teammate of Duke Cruz and the Boo Williams AAU basketball team. And boy, our young guys stepped up. Those guys played tremendously. Yes, it was Chris Lofton making shots in Kevin Durant's face and sending it to overtime and making unbelievable plays. But that was when Wayne Chisholm came out and showed you what he could do inside and out, offensively and defensively. That's when Duke Cruz's athleticism and physicality really showed. And his block of Kevin Durant was a crucial play down the stretch. And then Ramar Smith, he had Augustine, and he relished that matchup. Our freshmen grew up in a big way, and they delivered what was one of the best wins in Tennessee basketball non-conference history.
Everybody talks about Lofton's shot from right over here, but not many people talk about the defensive stop back here when Texas couldn't get the ball inbounds late and you got the ball back.
Well, it was reminiscent of a play that we made at Florida a year ago. We don't press out of bounds sideline all the time, but again, we just felt like we needed to make a play. It was a high-scoring affair. And I felt like Texas was going to get the ball to Durant and get a basket or a foul. And so once again, we told them, I said, let's not let them have this possession. Let's go make a play. And we did.
And they did. And then Lofton's shot, it's amazing. All the visiting teams would come in during their pregame warm-ups, and they'd all walk to the spot and try and hit that shot. Because they didn't have Durant in their face. It was one of the most remarkable shots I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was. And you know, Chris can see it. He's got permission to shoot it.
Chisholm, left side, Lofton wants a pick. Lofton gets the pick. Durant switches out on him. He fires over the top of him. Out front, good! Lofton over Durant. Tennessee leads at 88-87. What a shot, Lofton. Chris Lofton. Add that to the list of great shots in his career. His three-pointer gives Tennessee the lead for the first time in the second half. 88-87, and he shot it over 6'9", Kevin Durant.
You have got to be kidding me, Bob.
And who do you want, you know, to be in position, you know, to make that play more than Chris Lofton? And I mean, Kevin Durant extended, he got his hand out, but that thing was nothing but nylon.
Have you ever seen a guy that could shoot better with a hand in his face than Chris Lofton?
No. In fact, I'm going to tell you right now, Chris is a better contested shooter than he's an open spot shooter. It's amazing. And he's able to create separation. And, you know, Chris deserves all the credit in the world because he's a self-made player. When your best player is your hardest worker, that bodes well for your basketball team. And this is also an opportunity to give the assistant coaches some credit and the managers some credit. Those are the guys that are in the gym with Chris, those odd hours in the middle of the night when he just wakes up and feels like he needs to get 500 shots. You know, Chris is, he almost feels guilty when he's not, you know, in the gym or in the weight room or working out on the treadmill or doing the extra things to know that when he takes that shot and pulls from 35, it deserves a chance to go in.
And it's not just shooting. It's an hour of ball handling drills with nobody else out there with him at 9 in the morning.
Well, Chris is a guy that will take what you say to heart. You better be careful what you say to him, because what you say he's going to listen to. And so sometimes I got to keep it real simple for Chris, because he's so hard on himself and he wants to improve and he wants to get better that I got to limit the input. And the input from his sophomore year to his junior year was really clear. You've got to find a way to get to the foul line, pure and simple. You got to get in the lane and you got to make tough twos. And you got to be a guy like CJ Watson did as a point guard, you got to find a way as an off guard to be able to have the ball in your hands and make plays at the end of the game and get yourself to the foul line. And Chris spent the entire summer. We did not allow him to catch and stick off a screen. He had to put the ball on the floor. He had to create. He had to draw contact, and he did a wonderful job.
Memphis comes in-state rivalry. It's a series that's cranked back up. It's been very heated, very emotional. They come in flying high, and you played one of your best games that night.
We did. People ask the question, is it important to play the Memphis game? And I think it really is, because I think it's great for the fans, and I think it's great for the players. It's a game that they all look forward to. And I've got a great deal of respect for John Calipari, and whether he wants to admit it or not, he's got great respect for me. We actually have a friendship. But we go back and forth because he plays to the media better than anybody, and I'm probably a close second. And so we had a little bit of a banter there, which I think adds to the rivalry. Memphis cannot say that the Tennessee game doesn't mean anything to them. Well, because the overall record, I think it's like 17-10, Tennessee over Memphis. And when I got asked a question by a reporter in Memphis prior to that game, Coach, what is it going to take for you at Tennessee to get your basketball program to where you're not the second best program in the state? And I said, I'm sorry, but I don't remember seeing that poll. I don't remember seeing us finishing second in the standings. We're not in the same league as Memphis. And yes, they did beat us last year at their place, but as I thought, it was a pretty close game. I don't know that we're ahead of them or they're ahead of us. Well, he said, well, it's kind of like the Tennessee-Memphis football game. Tennessee's, I said, are you kidding me? I said, Memphis has only beaten us one time in their history. It is nothing like Tennessee and Memphis in football. And so I refused to answer any further questions under that premise. So we had a little bit of chip on our shoulder because we felt going in that there was not a team in the country that respected us maybe less than Memphis. So it was time, and the only way you earn respect is you don't talk about it like I tend to do sometimes. You got to go out there and do it.
Lofton in the front court, top of the key, drives, fakes, pull back, jump shot, good by Lofton at two. Lofton on the left wing, fakes a jumper, drives in the lane, tough shot, puts it off and in. Wow, nice drive, spinning move by Lofton in the lane as he faked the jumper.
Oh, all you can say about that is it was sweet.
They still bang for it. Roberts gets it off the glass. That's no good. Another rebound, Josh Tabb. Tennessee's got the ball, pressing the front court. Lofton pulls up left wing, a three for the lead. Good.
Money.
Chris Lofton gives Tennessee its first lead of the night, 12-11. Chisholm's going to take a long three and banks it in from the top of the key.
Whoa!
Bradshaw tries to take it down the lane. Fakes, spins, kicks it out to Josh Tabb. He goes baseline, throws it inside. Ramar Smith lays it up. No good. Cruz follows with two hands on a slam.
Throw it down, Duke!
22-17. Another rebound that goes to Duke Cruz. 22-17. Lofton on the left wing. He's going to fire a bomb and drills it.
Money!
Chris Lofton deep in the left wing drills it. It's 25-17. What a run by Tennessee.
4 for 4 for Lofton.
Here's Mack. Throws it underneath. Driving baseline. Cruz blocks the driving layup by Roberts. And Tennessee has the ball back. 25-17, the Volunteer lead. Ramar Smith, free throw line, brings it back out.
Good decision, Ramar. Right there. Good decision.
Lofton between the circles, everybody up. Lofton spins back right, now goes left, down the lane, scooping left hand, layup good! Brilliant move by the All-American.
Use him!
And Calipari finally stops it. Tennessee a 10-point lead, and Tennessee is taking it right to Memphis.
Your team was ready to play that night.
We were ready to play, and we were ready to play start to finish in front of a national television audience.
Was that maybe for 40 minutes one of the better games of the whole season, the Memphis game?
It was a good game, start to finish. Memphis has got great players, and John is a bit of an innovator, and he's done some things with his fast break and secondary transition that bothered teams all throughout the year. But we were able to game plan a way to try to fence off some things that they like to do, and of course, it was one of those nights when all things were equal. But we had number 5.
Number 5, that's exactly right.
Lofton goes right, down the lane, a running layup, good by Chris Lofton. He beat him off the dribble again.
I tell you, he's showing them all tonight.
Here's Lofton on the left wing. Lofton tries to make a move against Hunt, goes right around him, left hand, layup, good by Lofton. He's schooling him tonight.
They're lost, completely lost out here. There's another turnover.
Hunt can't control the outlet pass, and it goes out of bounds back to Tennessee. Here's Lofton. We approach the 1 minute mark. Tennessee leading by 19. Lofton, pull-up jumper left lane. Good by Chris Lofton. You talking about an All-American half. He's got 21.
This is unbelievable.
13 minutes to go in the game. Chris Lofton now going to take Mack one-on-one, way out front. He goes left, pulls up top of the key, fires a three, drills.
Just what the doctor ordered. Money.
Chris Lofton, another three-pointer. He's got 24 on the night.
That kid can't guard him, no way.
That is 4 3-pointers for Lofton. Now gives the left side Lofton. He's going to launch another bomb. Good again by Chris Lofton.
Money.
Way out on the left wing. He's got 29 points.
He loves the left side of the court.
55-38, and Memphis has to burn another timeout. They have no answer tonight for one Chris Lofton. Smith kicks it out to Chisholm, a three on the way. That's no good. Bradshaw goes inside to get the rebound.
Good.
Nobody boxed him out. Bradshaw in the lane, little 10-footer, good by Dane Bradshaw. What a play. 59-44. Tennessee leads by 15. The lead at halftime was 21. Here's a steal. Jawan Smith, top of the key. Smith goes down. 360 spin with two hands. Slams it down. Bradshaw slows it up. 7:15 to go in the game. Tennessee leads 61-46. Bradshaw free throw line. Left hand layup. Good by Bradshaw. Right down the lane.
Look it off, baby. Lay it in left-handed.
Hold it. Cruz looking for somebody to get it to. Gets it to Jordan Howell ahead to Lofton. Lofton pulls up a three, right wing, drills it. Chris Lofton, 34 points, career high.
That was huge. Great play.
And this year's in-state rivalry game goes to Tennessee as the Volunteers knock off the Memphis Tigers with authority, 76-58.
SEC season starts in January. You got an Ohio State game mixed in the middle of the early conference season. Talk about why you put that Ohio State game in. Like most times, you don't want to play a tough team like that in your conference schedule.
I'll give you 3 reasons why we played the Ohio State game. CBS. That's it. And I want to get to the point where our program, where in the non-conference schedule, television tells us where we play. I mean, it's what Kentucky's done for years. Who does Kentucky play in December? They play Indiana. They play Louisville. And those games are on national television. So we, rather than playing a Big Ten team that might not get on TV nationally, who's the best in the Big Ten? Who's got the best talent? It's Ohio State. Let's get them on the schedule, and so we did. And it was a dangerous time for this Tennessee basketball team because for some reason, Bob, early in the conference season, even with a healthy Chris Lofton, we weren't playing well. The overtime loss at Vanderbilt took some wind out of our sails, out of a young team. As it turned out, Vanderbilt was a pretty good basketball team. I knew it. Our coaching staff knew it. We didn't apologize for playing them tough and losing at the buzzer because we knew, hey, we want to see the rest of the league come in here and play with these guys. We knew how good they were, but our kids didn't understand. They didn't know, and they were disappointed. And we were on a hangover for a couple of weeks, including at that Ohio State game.
The Ohio State game came down to the last possession. You played them toe-to-toe. I mean, everybody knew that they had the greatest freshman maybe in the history of the Big Ten. Greg Oden, maybe the best player in the country, arguably. This was a team that was loaded. Everybody was saying they could win the national championship, yet your team went to Columbus and played them toe-to-toe.
We did. We played them toe-to-toe, and it was difficult. Greg Oden got off in that game. That was one of his better games, and we didn't defend him, as well as we wound up defending him at the end of the season. But one of the things that I pride myself on as a coach is try to create a system where we can win games in the 80s. We love to run. Been a head coach 15 years, I think, and my teams have never finished second in a conference in scoring because we've always finished first. But you've still got to be able to beat teams in the 60s or in the 70s. And I just think if you look back at that game, this Tennessee basketball team was patient. And we scored early in the clock, we scored late in the clock, and it was good enough to hang around. But for a couple of missed free throws and a big shot by Ohio State, we beat what was then a team that went on to be the #1 ranked team in the country prior to the national championship game.
You go to the SEC schedule again now. Now you look at it, you start at 2-4, and then you're 3-5. Lofton gets hurt on a drive to the basket.
As Chris has rolled his ankle.
Chris Lofton trying to trail the play against Archie. Came down, might have landed on his foot, and now Lofton is under the basket on his back.
Talk about the team coming together when Chris Lofton is hurt. And you don't know how long he's going to be out, do you?
No doubt. 2 things took place at that time. Dane Bradshaw spoke up at a team meeting, And he said this quite simply. He said, fellas, I'm going to ask you to do one thing for me. I want you to treat this season like it's your last. I'm the only senior on this team. This is my last season. If you guys could do that for me, then I think we got a chance to turn this thing around. Nothing else needed to be said. Because that speaks to what you're supposed to do in the classroom. That speaks to what you're supposed to do in the weight room, and your preparation, and how you don't take possessions off. Our hanging in there when Chris got hurt, our beating Georgia at home, was as a significant a win as we had all season long. It kept us afloat, and it allowed us to see the light at the end of the tunnel when we were going to get our All-American back.
Yeah, Georgia was as hot as any team in the conference at that time when you played them, too.
Georgia came into Thompson-Boling Arena. They had just beaten LSU and Kentucky at home, and they were the hottest team in the conference.
It's basketball time in Tennessee.
Tennessee has the ball first against Georgia. Juwan Smith's open left wing, fires good at three, right off the bat. Bradshaw holds it, dumps it down low to Chisholm on the right block. Chisholm give and go. Childress down the lane, scores. Childress gets it at the free throw line, kicks it off left side. Juwan Smith fakes, fires a three, drains it. Money. Here's the 1-3-1 again. Tennessee has solved it the last couple trips. They do this time. Cruz gets inside. A great pass from Omar Smith.
But Georgia came in, and it was still early in the season, like it was late in the year, and they had already sealed an NCAA berth. That's the way we felt coming in. And our kids talked about what was going on out there in layup lines and what were some of the things that were being talked about and addressed. And so our guys, I think, stepped it up, and they wanted to represent the fact that no, the baton has not been passed yet, and we still have enough to be able to beat you on our home floor.
Ramar throws it cross corner. Jordan Howell, three, good! Jordan Howell, a big night, and now it's over. Tennessee has defeated the Georgia Bulldogs by a final score of 82-71.
You were 3-5 in the conference. Everybody's saying, well, you got to get the 8 wins. Can you get the 8 wins? And if you get the 8 wins, would that still get you the tournament?
Right.
Did you talk to your team anything at that point in time about what's the number of wins, or how did you approach the situation?
Bob, keep it real. Let's keep it real, and let's be honest, and let's face facts, and let's not be afraid to tell them like it is. And you better believe we talked about how many can we get, and how many are we going to need. And if you remember, and it's hard to remember, but at one point we were off the bubble, or we got ourselves on the bubble. And I'm moving ahead. But we went to Arkansas late in the year saying to this basketball team, you want to go in the dance? You want to be in the field of 65? We need to win this game at Arkansas. Or maybe should we wait till Florida comes in? Or maybe we should wait till the last game against Georgia. Or no, let's wait till the SEC tournament and play our ways in off the bubble then. No. We went to Arkansas on an early afternoon game and said, let's play to make the NCAA tournament. And we beat another bubble team on their home floor, and we beat them soundly. And that was the beginning of that great run we had down the stretch. Listen up, I don't think there's any question, and we sensed it before the game, we were ready for this one. We were ready to go get in the tournament. All right, the second thing is, and this is not a criticism, but the team in orange wanted it more than the team in white. Every man out there wanted it more. You guys kept your composure, you made plays, you were unselfish, you let our great players do their things without letting it bother you, and you did the things that you had to do. How many guys made shots and made stops and got rebounds and did different things? And that's what you got to do at this time of the year. Some teams, they fall apart. They don't get along. They got issues. Every team has them. And you have not let those things prevent you from trying to play great basketball. Great, unselfish team basketball. How'd they like 55? Holy cow. So you just don't know. You just don't know. You just don't know. And then you guys, and the switching bothered them. And to have the smarts, to be smart enough, to be able to do different things. to different opponents, to be able to put in different looks and have, to get a backdoor to Wani or to get the wave the fist or whatever it is. But you guys gotta have the smarts to pick up on it. And you know what? And believe in it. And believe in it. You guys believe in it. You believe in each other. And you believe in what we're trying to do. Okay? I don't like teams that just win at home and can't win on the road. It speaks to their character. It speaks to their toughness. Right? You guys were up against it tonight. And it was us. Everybody in this room, all our traveling party, us against them. And we were the better team. Bring them in here.
Together on three. 1, 2, 3. Together.
But the two home games people remember in the conference, the Kentucky game, Bernard King comes home, and then senior night with Florida with Dane Bradshaw. The Kentucky game, people are still talking about it. When Bernard King comes back, Ernie Grunfeld's on the floor, you retire. Bernard King's number 53. He had so many great memories in this building here at Stokely Center. But that night was spectacular when Bernard King came down and led the team on the field.
Please welcome back to the University of Tennessee, Bernard King.
Welcome back, Bernard. Great to have you here. So tonight, for the first time in Tennessee men's basketball history, we will retire a number. It will be number 53, the number of Bernard King. Please direct your attention to the rafters.
I would like to begin by saying that the Ernie and Bernie show is back. But I just want to finish in saying I love you. Thank you for having me back. It's been too long. It's 30 years. And go Vols, go Vols, go Vols, go Vols.
And he was set back, and he was surprised a little bit at the reception. And more than anything, he was really glad that his daughter and his wife and his family got to see the way, once again, the Tennessee fans embraced him.
And then the team capped it off by beating Kentucky.
Good win.
Ernie and Bernie would not allow anything else that night, would they?
Jordan! Good look. How about getting 5 the ball? How about getting 5 the ball over there? Nobody's on him.
Lofton has hit his only shot, but that wasn't a three-pointer. Here's a handoff. Juwan Smith, right side, drives baseline, gets to the basket, puts it up, and in. Juwan Smith on the baseline.
Rowe! No, Rowe's got it. Support him. Rowe's got to support him.
Crawford on the dribble, lost the ball. Chisholm trying to get away from him. Now they're going to call Chisholm for pushing Crawford.
That's a bailout. That's a bailout, Tommy. It's a bailout. The kid tripped and fell. I know, it's a tough call, but still it's a bailout. I know it. Go!
Smith going to push it up on the dribble himself. Throws the pass inside. Cruz catches on the block. Back out front, Juwan Smith. He drives down the lane to the layup. Puts it up. Good. Juwan Smith right down the lane. Sweet. 18-17. He's been faking that three-point shot and driving.
They are big. They can't run with us. That's why Morris missing free throws in there, because the tempo. The tempo.
21-20, Kentucky.
Hey, Bernard, in case I haven't told you this, you overachieved in marriage in a big way. In a big way, man. Good job. 55. There he is. There he is. Skip. Reverse. There he is.
There he is. Bounce pass inside. Chisholm on the right side against Morris. Back top to Jordan Howell. He's going to take a three from there and hits it. Big Jordan Howell, a three-pointer straight out.
Money.
24-21, Tennessee by 3. Kentucky on the inbounds, goes to Crawford. 5:40 to go in the half, Tennessee leads by 3. This crowd roaring.
Hey, 5 up right now, 5 up! Right now, 5 up!
Jordan Howell dribbles by midcourt. Howell goes left side, double team him, back to Childress. Right side, Juwan Smith. Smith brings it to Childress, top of the key. He's going to take a long three. It rattles in for Childress. Childress' first three-pointer of the game. 27-23, it rolled all the way around the rim and dropped through. Here's Kentucky. Meeks comes open left wing, fires a three and hits. Juwan Smith went for the steal.
No, you got to call a foul on that. He punked him. I think so.
I think that was a good move, though.
All right. I'm at home. Of course I think he should call a foul on him. There he is. Get open, Jordan. Ball screen. There he is.
Jordan Howell, top of the key, now left side Lofton. Lofton's got an open look, fires a three and drills. Lofton comes floating over to the left side and found his favorite spot and bombs it in.
That was a set play. Great pass by Jordan Howell.
Go low.
Tennessee by 4. Here's Kentucky. Bradley drives in the lane. Bradley holds it, takes it, kicks it off. Underneath pass knocked away, intended for Crawford. Stolen by Tab. Tennessee pushes the front court. Tab left side Lofton. Here's another one on the way. Good again. Lofton drills it for the left wing, and Tommy Smith said, let's talk about it. Chris Lofton, quiet until just now. Now Tennessee goes man-to-man. They showed some, but they're back man. Perry, left wing, fires a three. Short. Rebound goes to Childress.
Great box out that time by Chisholm.
1 for 6 is Kentucky from three-point range. Howell going to take one out, but that's good again. Jordan Howell hits a three-pointer. Tennessee's red hot.
Super shot by Jordan. He's giving him a great boost, Bob.
36-26. Tennessee leads by 10. Tennessee on a 9-0 run. Pass Orbsuit. Puts the shot up and it's blocked out of bounds by Chisholm. Wow, what a flurry by Tennessee. Kentucky, they don't know what hit them. Here's Josh Tabb. Throws the pass inside. Chisholm on the right block. Tries to back in against Morris. Left hand, lays it up and in. Good move by Chisholm.
Talk to me, Wayne.
Took it right at Randolph.
Blakey! I got you, Chris Blakey! Come on, bench. Come on, bench.
38-28, under 2 minutes to go. Here's Bradley down the lane. Offensive foul. Bradley runs in to Wayne Chisholm. Second foul on Bradley.
Did you see that? Did you see that?
Here's Bradshaw, right side, Jordan Howell. Howell in the corner, bounce pass underneath, trying to get the ball up, and Cruz gets it to the rim, and it goes in.
Strong, baby, strong.
Cruz has 10 points in the first half, and Tennessee's biggest lead is 40-28. And that's the half. But a late rush by Tennessee opens up this game, and they lead Kentucky at halftime here at Thompson-Boling Arena.
Anytime we stayed with the trap longer, longer and harder, good things happen to us. Okay, short and back, they threw it in there. Hard, when you gotta go, go. When you gotta go, go. We had 15 baskets. We had 15 baskets on 13 assists. Okay, you guys did a great job of making the extra pass, looking for your teammates. Continue to do that for 20 minutes. Bring them on, let's go. Let's go, we're good. Focus on the process. Stay aggressive, stay aggressive.
Together on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Together, stay aggressive. At that point in the season, Bob, we had a pretty good feeling that we were going to get ourselves off the bubble and get ourselves back into the NCAA tournament.
But still, you had to fight to the end to beat Kentucky down the stretch. So you knew they were going to come back on you, and they did.
Oh, no doubt. They came back on us like the year before, but this time, we were able to step up. We were able to get stops. We were able to make plays. And I don't think for a second we ever doubted that we wouldn't win that basketball game. Don't hold him. There he is.
45-35. Here's Wayne Chisholm in the corner. He fires a three and hits another one. Wow. Lost the ball. Juwan Smith takes it away. Juwan Smith racing the other way. Goes in. Puts it up.
Yeah.
Good, and he's fouled. Juwan Smith just waited for Jasper to catch up. Juwan Smith then threw it high off the glass. Kissed it in. And Jasper fouls him. Juwan Smith goes to the line.
You guys are continuing to do a good job of drive, draw, dish. Drive, draw. Well, that's okay. I don't know if anybody, who was open when Duke drove it? Was anybody open? Circle back and get open for him when he puts the ball down the floor. You go score. Four-man maybe come down on him. And they will. They'll come down off of him. All right? Anybody having any fun? Let's make some history. Now let's go.
Defense on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Defense, let's go. Keep the intensity on. Let's go. 5 up. Get out here, Duke. Get out here. 5 up. 1 and 2.
Howell hands it back to Childress.
There he is.
The pass goes to Lofton inside. Cruz, who slams it. They had Cruz being guarded by Meeks. Lofton saw it, lobbed it over the top, and Cruz gets a two-hand slam.
That's a great play. Smart basketball. They just lobbed it right over the top.
13:39 to go in the game. Lofton, top of the key, gets around Bradley, drives to the basket. Left-hand layup is no good. Tip no good. Another tip no good. It stayed alive, and Lofton puts it in.
Back! Lady!
Absolutely. Jawan did a great job that time. Touched the ball 2 times, stayed after it, Lofton got it, put it in.
Tennessee scoring on almost every possession right now. Here's Sheree Thomas, top of the key. Bradley fakes a 3, drives around Childress to the basket, throws it up and in, and he's fouled.
Stop taking flyers!
That's his 3rd.
No flyers! They're all drive, draw, dish! Tell them we got to play defense without fouling. We got to play defense without fouling.
Meeks in front court for the Cats. Top of the key, Bradley. 12 minutes to go in the game. It's an 8-point Tennessee lead.
There we go.
There's a whistle and a traveling violation on Bradley as Chisholm jumps out in front of him near midcourt. Chisholm flops.
Good job. Hey!
9:34 to go.
Drive it!
Front court, Josh Tabb gets on the defense and slams to the left hand. Bradshaw saw him in the corner. Nobody picked him up. 6 minutes to go in this game. What a comeback by the Cats.
Tennessee might want to go back to that pick and roll. It worked well with it for them the first half.
Kentucky's defense just grinding on pass inside. Cruz gets away and low against Stevenson and slams it home with 2 hands.
Great pass that time by Jawan.
Play D!
Tennessee leads by 4. Kentucky with the ball. Crawford now guarded by Bradshaw.
I like that matchup a little better.
They're trying everybody on it. Jasper gets it out front between the circles. Moves on. Jordan Howell can't shoot. Hands it back to Meeks. He's going to turn and fire a 3. That's good by Meeks.
Oh, that's unbelievable there. That's kind of pulling it out.
72-71. Kentucky has cut it to 1. Jordan Howell to Bradshaw. 5.5 minutes to go.
5 up! 5 up! Right now! 5 up!
20 seconds. Tennessee looks a little tentative right now. Lob pass inside. Duke Cruz goes up hard. Slams it again.
Play D! Switch! Switch out!
Pass that time. The Kentucky players flew by.
Switch out!
74-71.
Switch out on the shooters!
Jasper spun on the baseline and was wide open right to the hoop and lays it up and in. Here's a 3-pointer. Lofton good from the left wing.
Money!
Lofton drills a long 3-pointer and a timeout is asked for by Tennessee. When you need a bucket, who do you go to? Chris Lofton. Crawford dribbles across the midcourt stripe with 4 minutes remaining in this game. Crawford guarded by Jawan Smith. Comes off a pick whistle. There's going to be a foul called. And that foul's going to be on Wayne Chisholm holding Randolph Morris.
That's a moving screen, Tommy! Tommy! You're giving him too much latitude on that moving screen. My guy's entitled to his position, isn't he? He's allowed to have his position.
Not with his arms, that's all.
I'm telling you right now, there's way too much one-on-one basketball going on. You understand what I'm saying? We got inside outs, we got offensive rebounds, everybody trying to make the extra play. Make the extra pass. All right? Slide in there and take the charge. You went halfway, Dane. You can't score, but you can make that play. All right? Don't be afraid to make plays out of that, out of flat screen. You cannot let those guards jump out there and make those plays. Don't panic. Don't panic. You don't have to go one-on-one. What do? They sink. They sink. Find your friends on the perimeter off a drive, draw, dish. Everybody's taking it going one. They're coming off of you guys.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Joe Crawford gets it. He's going to go one-on-one against Lamar Smith. Crossover, fakes, fall away, long 3. No good. Hustle for the rebound. Lofton beats everybody to it. Here comes Tennessee. Lofton gallops to front court. Bounce pass. Lamar Smith, layup, good, and he's fouled. Sweet! Lamar Smith puts it up strong and gets fouled.
That's a play of the game right there.
Dane, rebound the ball now. Rebound the ball. Make a defensive play here. Rebound the ball.
Smith at the line. Big free throw.
Get a boy roll.
Money.
It's a hell of a way to make a living.
Way to go. Great job. Great job. Great job. I want to congratulate all of you. All of you. Great job. Where's Coach Paul?
He was doing ESPN.
Oh, man, that was exciting. That was exciting. You guys did it. You can play like that every night. Every single night you can play that way.
You gonna come to every game?
Listen up. We talked about two things now. We could either focus on the process and talk about the way we had to guard them, keep them off the boards, and what we need to do offensively. That's what I always want you to do. I want you to think about what you have to do for this team to be successful. And in the first half, when we had 15 baskets on 13 assists offensively, we did it. Second half, Kentucky did what they wanted to defensively, and that cannot happen. We must be the aggressor and not allow them to dictate to us what they're going to do. Can't happen again. Or, rather than focus on the process, you can focus on the end result. You look up at the wall here, fellas, okay? You look up at the wall. Kentucky, one of the greatest basketball programs in the country, and no team has beaten them more than Tennessee. And tonight, you guys honored these guys right here. You honored them with how you played the game of basketball. Bring them in here.
Congratulations, man. Great win. Bernard and I beat him 6 out of 8 times, though.
Together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Together.
Florida comes to town at senior night. The defending national champions. They've already won the SEC. Loaded for bear. They got everybody back. They're talking about this might be one of the special teams in America. That night was also very special because in pregame ceremonies, you honored Dane Bradshaw for what he has done for this program. In athletic competition, heart cannot be measured, but you can watch it in action. While heart does not have a column in the box score, it can be admired. In 118 Tennessee basketball games, Hart has worn the number 23 for the Volunteers. It has shown up as a dive on the floor, a key steal, or a game-changing offensive rebound. Tennessee senior Dane Bradshaw has the heart of a champion, and he will be remembered for great plays and great effort. But there are off-the-court memories he will cherish as well.
Really, one of the best memories I have wasn't even on the court. It was in the Ray Mears room on Selection Sunday last year. When we all sat around on the couches waiting for our name to be announced. We expected a 4 or 5 seed, and then when they announced the number 2 seed, University of Tennessee, the place just went up in the air and everybody was celebrating together, and it caught us all off guard. And it was a very emotional time for all of us.
Dane Bradshaw has played a major role in bringing winning basketball back to the Tennessee program. And that's just one of the ways he would like to be remembered.
I hope the fans will remember me as a good person, first of all, and someone who always was appreciative of everything that was given to him, and someone who worked for everything they got, and most importantly, a winner.
Dane Bradshaw will be remembered as a winner at the University of Tennessee, on the court, in the classroom, and for so much more.
We wanted this senior night to be very, very special, and the only way you could be special is to cap it off with a win. We had a 27-point lead at one point over a 2-time national champion Florida team. That tells you how good we were at times. We became a pretty dangerous basketball team.
Lofton holds it, gives it to Juwan Smith off a pick. He's guarded by Torian Green.
There he is!
Looking for a good shot. Bradshaw in the corner against Noah. Drives him in the lane. Kicks it off in the corner. Chisholm going to take a 3 and hits! Wayne Chisholm from the deep corner ties the game at 3. Ramar Smith hands it back to Juwan Smith down to Bradshaw. Left side Lofton trying to get his first shot off. Bounce pass, give and go. Chisholm slams with 2 hands. Chisholm rolls to the basket. Lofton from the top of the key.
Press up, Chris! Press up, Chris!
That was sweet, baby. And now there's a whistle and a foul inside.
No way! Call it a first foul! Call it a first foul!
Childress free throw line. No good on that shot. Childress gets the offensive rebound and stuffs it with the right hand.
Talk to me, Ryan!
Ryan Childress missed his free throw but got it back and slammed it home. Tennessee leads at 12-7. Hodge on the right side, throws it down low to Noah. He's double teamed, fakes, kicks it back out to Brewer. Now back inside to Richard against Cruz. They double team him to Brewer on the right side.
Chris, don't rotate on Brewer! Don't leave Brewer! Don't leave the shooter! Let Brewer load up top!
12-10. Tennessee leads by 2. Tab goes baseline, reverse layup is good. He beat Hodge on the baseline. Left side Humphreys open, fires a 3. No good. Rebound Bradshaw.
There's a break.
Tennessee with the basketball up by 1 with 13-10 to go in the first half. Here's Ramar Smith down the lane, left hand layup good. Split the defense right to the rim.
That was sweet right there. Ramar can get to the rim anytime he wants.
Tab to Duke Cruz down the lane against Horford, lays it up and in. Nice drive by Duke Cruz. Here's Ramar Smith driving against Hodge, kicks it out to Lofton. His first 3 on the way. Good! Chris Lofton from the right wing.
Money.
Green holds it with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Pass goes to Brewer. Brewer spins free throw line. Fall away 15-footer short. Rebound banged around inside and Tab comes out of there with it. Tennessee runs the other way. Lofton on the right side. Drive to the rim. Layup good. Lofton all the way to the hoop. Lofton wants to take him. Lofton goes top of the circle. They back off him. Lofton fakes, doesn't shoot. Gives to Bradshaw. 4 seconds. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Bradshaw drives through. Gives Ramar Smith a fall away 3 is short. Rebound. Bradshaw gives it to Ramar Smith. Spinning in the lane. Kicks it out to Lofton. Down in the corner. Juwan Smith a 3 is good. You don't do it any better than that. The Volunteers on a 15-0 run. Jordan Howell out front. Juwan Smith. They spread the floor. Howell holds it back to Juwan Smith out front. Howell will call out a new play. Hands it back to Juwan Smith, down to Childress, left side Lofton. They clear out the left wing. He works on Brewer. Lofton, bounce pass, give and go. Cruz, reverse layup. Beauty! Here's Childress working on Horford. They enter the ball at the hash mark. Now back out front, Torian Green. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Tennessee up by 16. Green against Childress. Then Lofton takes the ball away. Lofton comes over, drives all the way to the basket, lays it up and in. What a drive by Lofton.
Incredible play, steal and a layup.
Tab throws it to Howell. Howell top of the key, a long 3. Good. Jordan Howell rattles one home.
Money.
Jordan Howell, the bomb from the top of the key.
What a great effort off the bench.
And to have Dick Vitale in the house, it had been so many years since Dick was in Knoxville, he couldn't remember the last time he was there. But for him to be here and be witness to the resurrection and the redemption of Tennessee basketball, and also to celebrate a student athlete that early in his career had been challenged. What was he doing here? Did he belong in the SEC? Why was he here and Lee Humphrey not? But we got successful, we got better, and we got it with Dane Bradshaw. And I don't know that there was a player on our team that wore that shirt or represented Tennessee any better than Dane Bradshaw, because he was flat out a pain in the butt to play against. And that's the way I want my teams to be known. And so it was very, very significant that senior night, Florida, that Peyton Manning is in the stands. And Peyton, the Super Bowl MVP, had just won a championship. To come back and to talk to my team prior to that basketball game, and to tell them about what he had learned, still learning, what he had learned as a Super Bowl champion more than anything else was to finally trust his teammates. And once again, there couldn't have been a better message at that time, late in the season. Guys are worrying about who's going to be all-conference this, and who other than Chris is going to get recognized for that, and which of the freshmen would make the all-freshman team, and would anybody catch Beverly as freshman? Didn't matter. It was all about winning. It was all about beating Florida that senior night. Now, how are we going to start the half? How are we going to start the half? Are we going to start the half like we down 10, but we're going to work our way into it?
We hungry.
Oh, we got to be hungrier than they are. And we got to get out there and guard right from Jump Street. They're going to make a run. They're going to make some runs. So keep your poise. Let's go.
Brewer in front court for the Gators, top of the key, goes down the lane, gets it off to Noah, drops it, Noah gets it back, now it's taken away and stolen. Ramar Smith comes out of there with it to Juwan Smith, drops it back to Lofton, bounce pass underneath, Ramar Smith lays it up and in. Great assist, Chris Lofton.
Unbelievable ball movement, great passing, unselfish basketball.
Florida throws it in bounds, it's stolen, Juwan Smith steals it. Juwan Smith behind the back dribble, brings it to front court, slows it up. Juwan Smith holds it, gives it to Bradshaw, top of the key. Bradshaw against Brewer, drives left hand, free throw line, kicks it off left side, Juwan Smith, a 3 on the way, good by Juwan Smith.
Money!
They are slicing them to death. 55-31, Tennessee leads, Volunteers in front court, Tab, turns the corner, gives to Bradshaw in the corner, a 3, good by Dane Bradshaw. Bradshaw on senior night. Woo! He spins and throws a fist into the air as he looks to the student section.
That's awesome.
58-36, Tennessee leading with 15 and a half minutes to go in the game. Bradshaw comes out high to get it.
Look at Noah, he's gassed.
Bradshaw fakes the three, drives to the free throw line, down the lane, running shot off the glass, good by Bradshaw. High off the glass, Bradshaw spins it home. Tennessee spreads the floor and then sends cutters along the baseline. Here's Lofton going to drive against Brewer, down the lane, throws it up and in. He beat Corey Brewer on the drive with the right hand.
He just took the best defensive player in the SEC right to the basket.
Hey, I don't want anything left out there. It's going to be one on the defensive end right now. That's where the sucker's going to be won. Defense and rebounding. Don't play for the fouls. Go get the rebound, okay? You guys are doing a good job with it by jumping out there and hedging. If we decide to do what to do ahead of time, it's no good. Because you got to read and react. I don't want to give up the three ball. So if you got to stay. I don't want to tell you to switch. You guys got to make those calls out there.
Tennessee gets the ball inbounds after the timeout. 2:38 remaining. Tennessee leads by 9. Ramar Smith in front court to Chisholm. Chisholm gets the pass and slams it home with 2 hands.
That's a big-time pass right there. He looked over at Lofton and rifled it underneath to Chisholm for the 2 hands.
Corey Brewer goes baseline. Back to Humphrey. The pass stolen by Bradshaw. Foul on Humphrey.
Here we go.
Bradshaw will go to the line to shoot as Humphrey tried to get that pass. Bradshaw beat him to the spot, and Humphrey runs into him. Fans showing up that 23 card they passed out before that says thanks Dane. Bradshaw second free throw. Good. He's got 10 points tonight.
Didn't even hit the rim.
51 seconds to go. Humphrey gets the pass. Goes top of the key with the left hand. Has the ball knocked away, but it's picked up by Brewer. He fires left wing. No good. Bradshaw gets a rebound. Kicks it out quickly to Cruz. Now to Lofton. Lofton's going to slow up, not take it, going to run clock.
Yeah, it's over now.
The crowd saluting this Tennessee effort tonight. Coach Bruce Pearl is already going behind the bench to congratulate people. Tears in his eyes. An emotional coach. I mean, these guys will run through a wall for him.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he rides
now
hard.
Here's the applause for Dane Bradshaw as he's being replaced by Ryan Childress, and Dane Bradshaw comes out of the game for the final time here at Thompson Bowling Arena. Listen to this roar for Bradshaw. Well deserved. 5 seconds to go, 4 seconds to go. Tennessee is going to beat the Florida Gators on senior night to send Dane Bradshaw out on a great, great note. Tennessee beats Florida 86-76.
All right, great job. Great job. Peyton said it. Peyton said it all. He said there's no pre-game talk or post-game talk that's ever got him ready to play or ever really made a difference. He said what made a difference were the guys in that locker room. And the biggest thing he said was he trusted them. They trusted each other. And that's what it's all about. When you pass the ball the way you pass the ball, when everybody can go to the line and take shots and make shots, and we're all required to play defense, it's all about trusting each other. To stay unselfish and to stay hungry. You had another night when you saw one team wanting to win a game more than the other team. And brought that kind of energy. Okay? You've won more games in this building than any team in the history of Tennessee basketball. You understand, please understand how much the fans appreciate it. They can all talk about it, but when they show up the way they've showed up for us this year, and you know, obviously you've given them a lot to cheer about. All right, now where are we going to go? Where we go from here now? You know, we got to go, and we got to keep getting better, and we got to stay strong, and keep doing the right things, you know, and enjoy this, and trust each other that we can play better, that we can step it up and even play better. That team right there could win a national championship, and you housed them. You housed them. Okay? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? How far do you want to go? Do you understand the kind of intensity you have to play with defensively now? Do you understand the peril you put them under with your ball pressure? You know what they did? That's because you put that kind of pressure on them. That's why we got to play everybody. That's why we got to play everybody from here on out. Okay?
I said it. It's senior night. It was great. It was great to earn it. This ain't goodbye. This ain't goodbye. We got work to do. We got work to do. Bring me in.
Together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Wrapped up the regular season in the SEC 10-6, which was remarkable when you figure you were 2-4 to start the campaign. You go to the SEC tournament, lose the first game, which was disappointing, but then you move on to the NCAA tournament.
It's our 9 versus their 7, and the biggest thing I want you to do right here is just play with passion and play with that positive emotion. There's no question you can be a little nervous because there's a lot at stake, and so you want this really badly. If that helps you play well, then allow yourself to be a little nervous. But if it's a distraction for you, and it gets to the point where you start focusing on the outcome and the pressures to win, being afraid to fail, forget about it. Focus on the basketball. Focus on basketball. Focus on making basketball plays, and it'll serve you well. As long as you're playing with that passion and emotion. Defense and rebounding win championships, and that's what we're after. We're prepared. We've gone through everything. Ain't nothing we're gonna see out there we haven't seen, okay? Just do your job. Just do your job. And I've heard Coach Fulmer say this before. You don't have to have an S on your chest, but you better represent that T that's on your uniform. Bring him in here. Do your job. We play best when everybody contributes.
Sign us, baby. Come on. Together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Together.
Ramar Smith goes right, pulls up, top of the key, a 3 on the way. Good! Money! Ramar Smith from the top of the key. Well, that's a good sign. Yeah. Both teams score opening possession. 3-2, Tennessee leads. Juwan Smith a long 3, top of the key, and that's good.
Same spot as Ramar. Great start for Tennessee. 2 big threes.
Back-to-back three-pointers. Tennessee has a quick 4-point lead, 6-2. Nixon goes on Juwan Smith, can't score, gets it out. Houston a 3, that's good. Neither team can miss.
That was long range right there. That was Lofton range.
Here's Lofton, he'll launch. He hits from the left wing. Wow, what a start, a flurry for both teams.
Your style is if the other team wants to run with you, you're going to run with them, and you ran Long Beach State, didn't you?
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a fun game. And I told them, and I know this isn't funny, but I was telling everybody, take the over, take the over. I'm telling you right now, this one's going to be high scoring. I shouldn't kid like that. But that was a fun game. And I like the fact that we've made a record. We set a record. It was by far the highest scoring game in that tournament. I think it ranks in the top 5 all time in NCAA tournament history as far as points scored. And we did it shooting a good percentage. We did it making the extra pass. And so one of the things that I like about Tennessee basketball is we've got a brand. It's got a brand. When you say Tennessee basketball, you know about running. You know about pressing. You know about intensity. And I was really glad that we were able to carve out our niche for our style of play in the NCAA tournament.
Tennessee looking for a backdoor cut. They hand the ball to Lofton. Comes off a screen, fires a 3, and hits. Top of the key.
Money. Jordan was 0 for 3. He needs to hit a couple shots.
Jordan, a long three-pointer right on cue. Hits it top of the key. Cruz set the pick. Bradshaw throws it back, down deep. Juwan Smith from the deep corner drills it. Long Beach State, the ball knocked away, and Lofton comes out of it with it. Lofton, bullet pass in the corner. Juwan Smith the 3. You talk about great execution. Juwan Smith hits another one. Bradshaw holds it, looks for somebody to pop out high to get the ball. Counts on him. Ramar Smith cuts to the basket, hits the pass, lays it up and in. He doesn't look like a basketball player, but he sure is a scorer.
He is one.
Here's Ramar Smith all the way down the lane. Childress set a pick top of the circle.
I've got to get Tanner a look here. Tanner, get out of the corner.
Hal backs it up with 10 seconds to go. Tennessee's going to win an NCAA tournament game. Tanner Wild. Tanner got the pass and banked one in for a 3.
You know, you can't see the Final Four from the first round. You just can't see it. And yet I know that that's where I want this program to go. That's the direction we're heading. And so it was vital to advance. We said it before, going in. Now, how about that? You know, to a team that had only one time in its history gotten to the Sweet 16, we said, this is the step that needs to be taken. What's required? We got to beat a Long Beach State team that was 5th in the nation in scoring, and then we got to beat the ACC champions, the Virginia team.
Tennessee up by 1. We're 4 minutes in here in Columbus. Chisholm top of the key. Now he'll take a 3 from there and hits. Wayne Chisholm a three, top of the key. Rebound goes to Ramar Smith. Tennessee runs, outlet Lofton. Pull up three-pointer is good for the left wing.
Tremendous play that time by Ramar.
And now Virginia gets it back. 40-35, Cavaliers lead by 5. Here's Bradshaw knocking the ball away.
There we go.
Goes on the floor, he throws it ahead to Juwan Smith. Smith in and lays it up and in. Great play, Bradshaw.
He's the man.
Lofton bodies him up a little bit. Reynolds picks up his dribble. The count's on. The ball knocked away and stolen by Juwan Smith. Smith in for a layup good. Howell brings it back out. Howell on the dribble still with the right hand. Goes to the Childress on the left wing. He's going to take another three. Good by Childress. He's at 2 here in the second half.
Money.
Ramar Smith, top of the circle. Bruce Pearl calls on a new play. Ramar Smith dribbles out by midcourt. Gives to Bradshaw, top of the key. They back way off him. Bradshaw's going to have to take the three, and he hits! Dane Bradshaw drills the three, top of the key. They dared him to shoot it. 59-55. 4-point game. Tennessee leads with 8:20 to go. Cruz pops out way high left side. He's played a lot of the second half because Chisholm in foul trouble. Pass underneath Cruz, makes a move, spins. Baseline shot good by Duke Cruz. Dane Bradshaw by midcourt. He'll drive to the free throw line. Pull up, looks, nobody open. Gives to Juwan Smith. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Juwan, top of the key, a long three. Banks in! Juwan Smith banks it in for the top of the key. 2:47. Tennessee with the basketball up by 2. Dane Bradshaw, left side of Lofton. Lofton, no baskets this half, has it left wing, itching to shoot it. Lofton pulls back, can't shoot. They get a Ramar Smith down to Bradshaw down the lane, swinging out. Juwan Smith from the corner, a three is good. Juwan Smith from the deep corner. Lofton eyes the mark, fires, good. Lofton hits another one, he's got 20. Tennessee leads 77-74. They fouled the last time. Tennessee up by 3. Virginia brings it into Singletary. 4 seconds to go. Singletary pulls up a three on the way. Rattles out, no good. Bradshaw bats the ball into the crowd, and Tennessee's going to the Sweet 16.
But that's where we set the bar. And we played some of our best basketball at both ends of the floor in Columbus in front of a great following of Tennessee fans.
Give us up, baby. Come on, everybody. Come on, baby. Get top of the head for me, man. Good job, baby. Good job, boy. What?
Good job, guys. Good job.
Hey, good scout, baby. Good scout, baby. Good scout. Okay, you was happy. You drove 6 hours.
It propelled us to where we wanted to try to go that next step, the Sweet 16.
Go to the Sweet 16 against the same Ohio State team you'd play back in Columbus.
Bradshaw gets it, kicks it out. Juwan Smith, a three on the way, and just like that, Tennessee leads 3-0.
But you felt pretty good about that second matchup with Ohio State.
We did. We felt like we could learn some things from the first time around.
Ramar Smith quickly in front court, drops it to Juwan Smith. His three, that's good. Wow. Lofton pulls back, deep left wing. Three good again by Lofton.
Money.
Juwan Smith, left wing, crossover, pulls back, launches a three on the way. Good again.
Pride yourself on beating teams differently. Pressure defense really bothered Ohio State at Columbus, and I just knew they would adjust in the second time and that we'd have to do it without full court pressure.
Lofton left side, drives, kicks it out to Chisholm, now to Childress. He's open for three on the way. It's good again! Ryan Childress from the left wing is second of the night.
Playing with a ton of confidence.
And now a steal. Pass stolen by Chisholm to Ramar Smith, lays it up and in, and he gets fouled. Count the bucket.
We were able to do some things offensively that really put a lot of pressure on Ohio State. And we scored, I'm not even sure how many we had at halftime, but it was a boatload.
Smith gives it in the corner to Bradshaw. He'll drive in the lane against Terrence. Bounce pass Ramar Smith. Good for the two-hand slam. Here's Ramar Smith, gives to Bradshaw. Bradshaw penetrates free throw line, spins left, spins back right, fakes, goes up. The ball, no, gets it across the lane and gives it to Cruz, who slams it. Tab right wing, he's going to take a long jumper and nails it.
Money.
A three-pointer for Josh Tabb. Tennessee resets. Lofton left wing, a three. Good. Chris Lofton, that's a 4-point trip for Tennessee. And now here's Chisholm the other way. He runs the floor and beats Hunter back and lays it up and in on a great lead pass. Long rebound to Lofton. Here comes Tennessee. 3-on-2. Lofton to the basket, driving layup, good.
And we absolutely had Ohio State back on their heels. But that was a great team. And that was a team that did not panic. And there was not a lead that was safe. But that was one of those half times when you wish it could have simply been a long TV timeout and we could have stayed out there on the floor because we had them set back on their heels. At halftime, they regrouped, and at halftime, we did not come out with the same defensive intensity. We took some early possessions off, and the problem in the second half was a 17-point lead became 10 in about a minute and a half. And with 18 or 19 minutes left to go in a game, 10-point lead is nothing.
Still had a chance to win on the final drive over Lamar Smith. It's been dissected, talked about, analyzed. You and your coaching staff have done the same thing. Walk us through that again, and would you do anything differently now as you look back?
You know, no. We got the ball to our best playmaker, and he got a great look. I mean, he only got to the rim. The anticipation would be that they make a free throw, and that we're going to take the ball out of the net. But it was an advantage that Lamar Smith got the rebound, a tough traffic rebound. We already had the ball in our point guard's hands. Didn't have to get it through the net, didn't have to inbound it to him. He already had it. But it took him a few seconds to gather himself from a tough rebound and begin to push the ball down the floor. We had the two shooters in the corner, Chris Lofton and Juwan Smith. The floor was spaced and spread. Wayne Chisholm was supposed to stop at about the center line, the middle of the court, to maybe create some sort of a screen or some traffic for Lamar Smith to come through. That also might bring Greg Oden out away from the basket so that if Lamar cleared the traffic at midcourt, Oden wouldn't have such a clean look at making a play defensively. But Wayne didn't stop in the middle of the court, and I think probably because it wasn't a made basket, it was a missed shot, he continued down the floor just to get an offensive rebound, to put himself in position to make a play, but he also drug Greg Oden into the vicinity, and Oden makes the play. The contact at the bottom, it was clear, there was contact, but I don't think you call the foul. You can't call the foul because Oden got it so clean up top. You gotta play on in that situation, let the big boys make a play. We weren't able to do it.
Still stings.
It'll sting forever. It'll sting forever. Losses like that don't go away. I can list you every one of the losses that I've had. You know, I can list you all the losses I've had for championships. There are some wins I've had for championships at the buzzer that I almost have forgotten. You keep them in perspective. You keep them in perspective as it relates to real pain and real loss and real tragedy. Just a basketball game. But nah, it's there's a little piece of my heart there that's damaged. But I tell you what, it's what motivates you. It's what gets you ready for the off season. I've never watched a film so quickly as watching that Ohio State, because I feel like there were some things in that game that we needed to learn from, and we needed to learn from them right away so that they could help us make the next step next season.
Coach, we spent a lot of time talking about Dane Bradshaw and Chris Lofton and Lamar Smith, but Juwan Smith, without him, you wouldn't have had a chance to play Ohio State in the NCAA tournament.
No doubt. You know, Juwan might have been our most valuable player in the sense that second leading scorer, his shooting percentages from 2 and from 3 were way up. He was second in the conference in steals, arguably our best defensive player, always took the toughest guard matchup. And when Chris was out, he carried us. Juwan Smith is one of those guys that does get overlooked. Doesn't make any one of the teams, first, second, or third team all-conference. Last year, he was the best sixth man in the conference. Didn't get it. I think Juwan is pretty motivated, and I think he's pretty excited about the future. And Juwan Smith is a very, very, very important cog to this machine.
And you talk about hard workers. Ryan Childress falls into that category as well.
Well, I don't know that there's a player in the conference that improved more from freshman to sophomore year than Ryan Childress. Ryan recognized the level he was at and responded to it. He got lean, and he was always mean. He got to where he was moving better, his confidence increased, he worked diligently on his outside shooting. And by the end of the year, the way Ryan Childress was playing in the NCAA tournament, boy, that should make you pretty excited about what he might bring to the table next season.
You'd said from the start this team would go as far as the freshmen took it, and your freshmen really got better as the season went along.
Well, you know, sometimes in recruiting, especially at a place like Tennessee where the recruiting gets so much attention and visibility and things like that, usually they're not as good as advertised just because there's so much publicity. I don't think you could say that in this case. They were every bit as good as advertised. Duke Cruz gave us a physical, athletic dimension that we lacked. For his size, Duke Cruz is a tremendous rebounder. And in and around the basket, he was an extremely productive player. And there were times when Duke could turn it on and athletically step up and allow us to compete against some of the best front lines in college basketball. If the SEC had one thing going for it, almost every team had an NBA frontliner. And Duke Cruz had to go up against those players. When Duke gets to be conditioned the way he can do it every possession, and when his skill package increases, he's going to be an even more effective player. Wayne Chisholm is an extremely talented player. Wayne is a big man that can move his feet, and that bodes well both for you offensively and defensively. You look at the matchup against Greg Oden, didn't score against Wayne Chisholm very often, and Wayne's ability to do things on the perimeter and make big shots, boy, that inside-outside combination, both offensively and defensively, I think it bodes well for Wayne at this level, and I think it's a tremendous projection for Wayne at the next level.
Everybody talks about those players, and the one player that got maybe more minutes than any of them was Josh Tabb, because he got it quickly. If you play defense and you rebound, you're going to play, and he, as a freshman, came in, was a lockdown defender. You don't see that very often.
No, you don't. He's a mature player, and he knows where his bread is buttered, and he is a nightmare for opponents defensively. He can put a lot of pressure on the ball, and he's a very, very physical player. He'd make a terrific strong safety, I think, because Josh Tabb not afraid to put the wood on you. And he found his niche. He found his role. And then offensively, he just sort of fit in and plugged away a little bit. I look for his offensive role to really increase in the future. But because he can defend and he can defend physically, you can look for Josh Tabb finding a way to get in the lineup.
So how about the future? Next year. Talk about building this program, taking the next step.
Well, you know, the next step is to go to the Final Four. That's what it is. The next step is to try to play for a national championship. That's where we're going to set the bar. I feel like we've got enough of the pieces in place, but you got to be good and you got to be lucky. And I can tell you the hardest thing is getting there. And then once you get there, the SEC, you know, you're SEC ready. But I don't see anybody in the league that's head and shoulders above the Vols. I got asked a year ago, are we a top 20 program? And my answer was no. We're not. We may have had a top 20 season, but we're not a top 20 program. Ask me that question now, and I'm gonna give you a different answer. We're now a top 20 program because for 2 straight years, we've packed Thompson Bowling Arena. We've increased our season ticket base by 8,000. Our fans travel now to the SEC and the NCAA Tournament. Our fan base is back. And then I think finally, the personnel, I think, is now in place. My coaching staff wouldn't trade a one of them. You talk about a bunch of guys that know how to work hard, that are excellent in their teaching, phenomenal men, phenomenal family men, great role models. The coaching staff is in place for us to be able to take the next step. And then the personnel, you're only good as the players that surround you. That's the bottom line. Ohio State and Florida, they had the best players, and they got to the championship game. I feel like we're getting closer. I feel like now our players are in position to take the next step. Next year, we hope to play our last game in San Antonio.
It's got to be gratifying to you to see the fans come up and say thank you to you for bringing Tennessee basketball back.
No doubt, and I appreciate it. All we're trying to do is bring Tennessee basketball up to the level of excellence that the rest of the university enjoys and the rest of the athletic department enjoys. And you know, I've worked my whole life to be at a place like Tennessee. I've had to move my family way too much in order to get here. And so now that we're here, there's no place else I'd rather be. It is great to be a Tennessee ball.